Previously on the save files.
I'm looking for a man. He's been missing for years now. And I just need to know whether he's alive or dead. This is him.
This is Tex Murphy. Hey, what's this? There's a random address on the Under a Killing Moon Wikipedia page.
Welcome, Mr. Randolph.
Well. Microsoft.
You cannot be allowed to bring Tex Murphy back, Mr. Randolph. Goodbye. Finish him.
And now, on the save files.
Find him! Don't let him escape!
Now why would I want to do a thing like that when I've got you right here? Drop your guns. Both of them.
Now, let's not do anything rash.
Hey kid, I wouldn't. Put the gun down. Now scram.
Go on.
And get a real job! I realized I wouldn't have long until the police showed up. This house was in a quiet neighborhood, so that gunshot would probably get some soccer mom's complete attention. What's this? A small key, like one would have for a locker or a small lockbox. Or a briefcase. Of course! Tex's next case, the Pandora Directive for the PC.
Freeze!
Ooh. Relax, guys, it's just me.
Aaron Randolph? Oh, not this idiot again.
All right, Randolph, let's go over this one more time.
Jeez, Mike, how many times are we gonna do this? As I told you, Microsoft and I and some of his goons were doing interpretive dance. And their faces kept running into my fists. It was so weird.
Can it, smartass, unless you want to spend the night in the drunk tank.
Detective Mike Malden and I had a long history of helping each other out, or getting in each other's way, depending on who you ask. I liked and respected him, but I'd never tell him that to his face.
So you found the address on the Wikipedia page. Then what?
It was a trap. Microsoft and his thugs were waiting for me in the basement. They disarmed me and told me I couldn't be allowed to bring Tex Murphy back. And Microsoft ordered his thugs to shoot me. I grabbed the gun, shot out the light, knocked out one of his thugs, and then knocked Microsoft out. The other goon escaped, and I didn't get too good a look at his face. I had just found the Pandora Directive in Microsoft's briefcase before the boys in blue showed up.
What's the Pandora Directive?
It's Tex Murphy's fourth case, directly after Under a Killing Moon. I was going to check it out anyway. Microsoft having it just proves I'm on the right track.
Tell me about it.
About what? The Pandora Directive? Is that really relevant to the assault charge?
I'll decide what's relevant, thank you very much.
Okay. If you really want to know, I'll tell you. As I said in my Tex Murphy review, the Pandora Directive was everything a sequel should be. It improved on many things that were great about Under a Killing Moon, and most of that game's weaknesses were addressed as well. The Pandora Directive starts with Tex in slightly better circumstances than in Under a Killing Moon. He might still be broke, but at least he's a little more confident in himself now. Just not when it comes to the opposite sex.
Tell me what you think about love. You know, romantic love.
Falling in love is like bungee jumping. Except the other person gets to hook up the bungee cord and you can't check to see if it's fastened to anything.
Oh, I'm sure you have women doing all kinds of crazy things just to get your attention.
You don't know me very well, do you? When a woman pays attention to me, generally I'm so stunned, I don't do anything about it.
Ha! Now I know why you identify with this guy so much.
Whatever. I'm sexy and I know it. Wait.
Stop! Or I will shoot you.
After his attempt to woo Chelsea goes awry, Tex finds himself in the company of a charming gentleman, Gordon Fitzpatrick, played by the fantastic Kevin McCarthy.
Where do I know him from?
Tons of stuff. He was a character actor his whole life. Though, admittedly, at the time I first played the Pandora Directive, I only knew him from one movie.
Because of some fly-by-night UHF station, a UHF station!
It's like he didn't know how to be anything less than awesome.
Heard, and his work on the Pandora Directive was no exception. Well, it turns out Mr. Fitzpatrick wants to hire Tex to find an old friend, Thomas Malloy. They were friends some time ago, but some sinister events lead Gordon to believe that his friend is in danger. Mr. Fitzpatrick gives Tex a generous advance, and the game begins. The gameplay had received a significant upgrade from Under a Killing Moon. Pandora Directive had multiple playstyles to choose from. Entertainment mode was for players more interested in the story and a slower pace. There are fewer puzzles, and the brilliant hint system from Under a Killing Moon was available for use. But Game Players mode has more puzzles, more rooms, more scenes, more challenge. And in return, hints are off limits. I neglected to talk about the user interface in my Under a Killing Moon review, but it's identical to the one used in the Pandora Directive. It's functional, but disappointing. I would have liked to have been able to move around in full screen and then interact with things in the same full screen. The controls, well, they're still bad. In fact, it's even worse now because there are some sections of the game that require pretty precise movement. Game Players mode adds a room that's even more diabolical. Which leads me to the golden rule of adventure games. Save early
And often. But why would you want to play this game? Doesn't sound that great.
Oh, I'm just getting the negative stuff out of the way. Now it's time for the stuff I like about the game. Get comfy, detective. We're gonna be here a while. First of all, the story has gotten a huge upgrade. The story in Under a Killing Moon was great, don't get me wrong, but it was marred by the goofy tone, and it was difficult to take the threats seriously. In Pandora Directive, on the other hand, things are much more serious, with occasional silliness to lighten the mood.
This picture was taken of my ex-wife on her 25th birthday. Yeah, she was gorgeous. Makes me wonder sometimes why we couldn't make it work.
That reminds me, how is your wife these days?
She's a massive bitch.
It's like you were made for each other. In addition to a shift in tone, the story now had branching character paths. By being a good person and doing the right thing, you could wind up on the Mission Street path. By playing it down the middle, you could play the Lombard Street path. Or, by generally being a selfish bastard, you can play the Boulevard of Broken Dreams path. The conversation system is now more important than ever, since how you treat people is a major determining factor in which path you'll take. And the plot will play out differently based on which path you're on. Some characters will treat you differently, or some might just die. And there are multiple endings within each path depending on your actions. All of these things make the replayability of this game astronomical. The gameplay has been upgraded as well. Like Under a Killing Moon, the Pandora Directive has primarily inventory puzzles, but this time around there are many, many more logic puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, and brain teasers. It's astonishing how many mental challenges they managed to cram in this game on the entertainment level alone. On Game Players level, there are even more. Again, there are many sections of the game where Tex can die if you're not careful. But again, this does not bother me, as they're frequently brilliantly intense. though I maintain that the lava room was taking things a bit too far. The acting and directing are superb. Unlike Under a Killing Moon, which had a few questionable performances, no one in the Pandora Directive feels out of place. Chris Jones, Suzanne Barnes, Kevin McCarthy, Tanya Roberts, and Barry Corbin all pull off memorable performances, but that's not to slight the supporting cast. Louise is warm and friendly as ever, Clint is still hilariously awesome, and I can't be the only person who wants to see that little bastard Rook get his own adventure. And the writing. Every character is thoroughly fleshed out in interesting ways as you get to know them better. The plot and the mystery behind it are intoxicatingly addicting, drawing you down twists and turns right up until the end, most of which you won't see coming. And the details. The historical facts were clearly researched, so there's a genuine degree of historical accuracy, although there are obviously some parts that are made up.
Clearly this game means a lot to you.
It was one of the first computer games I ever bought with my own money. It's my favorite adventure game of all time. And I'm not alone in that. It was just named number 9 on AdventureGamers.com's list of the top 100 adventure games ever made.
But what's your favorite memory of the game?
This is gonna sound like a cop-out, but I don't have one. My favorite memory of the Pandora Directive is the whole game.
You're right. It does sound like a cop-out.
The Pandora Directive is my favorite adventure game ever. This game has everything. Comedy.
Oh, do you mind?
Actually, I do.
So I guess this is the part where you tell me everything you know about Malloy.
I wasn't done with that yet.
Sorry.
Drama.
Well, this is all really interesting. But it's not the kind of information somebody kills for.
Tex, screw your head on straight!
Action. Horror.
Bastards have locked us in, and it's killing everyone!
In what other game can you match wits with a serial killer, explore the ruins of an ancient civilization, and uncover a government conspiracy? All in the same game. Honestly, I tried thinking of a specific memory, but each one just led to another memory and another. Kevin McCarthy's brilliant opening monologue led to the incredible music, which led to the tension of the first time I tried to sneak up on the serial killer, which led to finding Dr. Malloy, which led to scratching my head at some of the puzzles, and so on and so on. My memory of the joy of beating the game on the best Mission Street path has the same value as my memory of how hard it was to watch Tex travel down the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. In short, the Pandora Directive bills itself as an interactive movie, but I disagree. I prefer to think of it as a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
And you can still buy this game nowadays?
Oh yeah. It's just $9.99 at goodoldgames.com, and it works perfectly with modern computers.
I suppose the people who made the game are working in different fields now.
Oh no, they're still making games. You can check them out at bigfinishgames.com, and those games are awesome too.
Well, this is all very interesting, but it doesn't help you find Tex Murphy now, does it?
No, not really. I was hoping there might be a clue or two, but I guess not.
Hello, I'm the casual gaming. I think you can trust him.
Alright, Randolph, you can go. Your story matches up.
Well, guess I'll be seeing you.
Before you go, you're ruffling a lot of feathers around here. The higher-ups are asking why we're bothering with a 10-year-old cold case about a missing PI.
And
they probably won't be too upset if you go missing too. I should be able to keep Microsoft out of your way for a while, but not for long. You want my advice? Don't get yourself in too deep on this one, Randolph. I might not be able to bail you out again.
I'm not too worried. I can take care of myself.
I'm sure you can. All the same, watch your back. Oh, one more thing.
Oh, man. This is not where you're going to tell me, stick around in town, we might have to ask you some more questions. How many times have you told me that over the last 10 years? Hello?
Hello. The door was open, so I let myself in. I hope you don't mind.
Well, it seems lately I have all manner of women just walking into my house. Which actually doesn't sound like that much of a problem. Well, I suppose you've slept in my bed and eaten my porridge too.
Does anyone even make porridge anymore?
No. Why are you in my home?
I understand you're looking for Tex Murphy.
I am. Who are you?
I'm the casual gaming industry. And I'm afraid I might have killed him.